Steph Johnstone from Barnabas Aid joins me on the program. Kia ora, good morning.
Kia ora, Andrew.
Now,
This is such an important topic, so
it,
I'm so glad we're talking about this today.
it is, and in the context of International Women's Day, which is, of course, coming up on this Saturday the 8th of March, and actually this is a pretty harsh reality. Talk to us about how tough it is for women in some of the countries that you work.
Well, you said it. It is bad to be a Christian in a lot of countries we work. It's very hard for Christians, full stop. And then when you add female to that, you have kind of a double level of persecution,
Yeah.
a worse level, where women are made to feel like second class citizens, worthless. They are in fear for their lives. So many are kidnapped, tortured, forced to marry other men and of a different religion. And so females face a more intense persecution than many other people in the countries we work in because of the fact that they A, love Jesus,
Mm.
and B, because they're female. That's it. Those two reasons right there.
We celebrate the progress that women have made over many decades now, and this is a part of the celebration of International Women's Day. It would be fair to say that that progress hasn't happened in all parts of the world. There's still plenty of work to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, countries like Afghanistan, where there was some sort of movement forward for women, is now, because Taliban has taken back over, has been pushed back down again.
Yeah.
And many countries where Christian women and Christian girls who want to go to school are oftentimes denied that because of their gender. And so it's a really serious situation where we have to speak out about it. We've got National International Women's Day where we can highlight this issue that's very serious and where women are very vulnerable. But it needs to be a more than just one day kind of situation.
Certainly, and hey, certainly from Barnabas Aid's point of view, this is every day. This is the reality of
Mm.
the work that you do, both in terms of tackling slavery, looking for equality of educational opportunities, but also healthcare across the board. Really making sure that it's a fair deal
Yeah.
for people, regardless of their religious beliefs or gender.
Yeah, we specifically make sure that women, especially widows and young girls, are taken care of. There are so many women who are widows because their husbands, for example, there's a story on our YouTube page about a woman who her husband was killed by Boko Haram,
Yeah.
and so she's now left to fend for herself. And in countries where women are second class, it's very hard to do that. It's very hard to get a job. So we try to help with microloans and things like that to help women be self-sufficient. We help teach them reading, writing, numeracy, that kinds of things, so that they can fend for themselves, so to speak. Because in these situations, family is not going to take care of them. When a Christian woman decides to follow Christ and convert from her family's religion, they're often thrown out of the house. They sometimes can be kidnapped, beaten. We have one story where a young girl was chained to a tree for days because she decided to follow Christ, and that's from her father. So this is the thing. It's something that is widely untalked about, and a huge issue that we need to face today. In today's modern world, where that shouldn't happen,
Yeah.
it is happening in a lot of these countries still.
And women are so often the key to unlocking prosperity in these countries. And you're talking about micro enterprise beforehand. That
Mm.
if you give a guy in a village a loan, that might help him. But if you give a woman in a village a loan, that's going to help the whole village. Is often the case,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, because they're learning how to do things like sew and Laos, they're learning how to grow mushrooms, and there's rice mills and things like that, where women become more a big part of the community because they are being taught these jobs where they can help not just themselves but others as well.
When it comes to religious persecution, this is, I suppose, one of the key reasons for your organisation's existence. And we were talking about this the other day of the young woman in Pakistan who was
Mm.
kidnapped and forced to convert to Islam to marry somebody much older than her. This is something again the problem is huge, but some progress, some good news in this area as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with Barnabas Aid, we're currently, we've got around 20 different projects that we're doing specifically for women and girls who have been caught in one of these situations that we've just discussed. And so we're really serious about helping. And we do have some really amazing stories where women have, I mean, persevered. They've overcome the difficulties. Last week when I shared about the young girls in Pakistan who
Yeah.
were kidnapped and horrible things done to them, but what she wanted to do was help others who were in that same situation as her. And women like Angela, who her husband left her alone, and yet she was chosen to be a part of a cassava project where growing cassava is one of the biggest sources of income.
Mm.
And so now she's doing that, and like you said, helping her community because of this project that we've been able to do to help women specifically in these situations, minorities, the vulnerable, those who are deemed as worthless in their society. So there's so many women who are resilient in the face of persecution, who don't leave their Christian faith. There's another story of a woman in Uganda whose husband left her. She was left alone, but he gave her the choice. He said, either leave Christianity, deny Jesus, or I'm leaving you. And she basically said, I can't deny Christ. And so it's stories like that that make me as a person just really proud to be a Christian, and it's encouraging to see stories like that happen.
And I suppose this is one of the concrete examples. Some people go, oh, all religions are the same. But no, actually, in parts of the world where Christianity is flourishing, in parts of the world where Christian values are at the root of the justice system, we do generally see better outcome for women.
Yeah, we do, because we give them hope. We give them the self-sufficiency, where they can be hopeless or feel helpless even. We show them and we help them to have their own jobs and to live their lives. And, that's a huge example of how Barnabas Aid is working in these countries, helping them to do these things is a source of hope. It gives them back their dignity. It makes them know that they're not worthless, that they are valuable in the eyes of Jesus Christ and us as their family overseas.
Exactly. And I mean, it's just so much the Jesus response, isn't it? What you do for the least of these, what you do for those who are at the bottom of the social pecking order in different places of the world. If you lift those people up, then it can transform an entire society. I can think of, no better thing to do, actually, to celebrate International Women's Day is to commit to financially and prayerfully supporting an organisation such as Barnabas Aid. I know you guys do tremendous work in so many different parts of the world. Stephanie, if somebody wanted to do that, to find out more, to commit to supporting women through that work, what's the best way of doing that?
Jump on our website, barnabasaid.org, and you can find 21 different projects that we're able to help with, everything from feeding programs to women's literacy, self-sufficiency, that kind of thing. And then also, I would encourage you to jump onto our YouTube page. That's basically Barnabas Aid Stories. And there's 5 or 6 different stories just specifically on women overcoming hopeless situations and how Barnabas Aid helped them. So Barnabas Aid Stories on YouTube and barnabasaid.org if you want to give or find out more about how we're helping women.
Such a wonderful encouragement in amongst some desperate situations. Certainly encourage people to do that. Thanks for what you do, Stephanie. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.